Number 11. A charge of 6 microcoulomb is placed at the origin and another charge of minus 5 microcoulomb is placed on the y-axis at a position 0, 6, 0. Means x coordinate is 0, y coordinate is 6, z coordinate is 0. Calculate the total potential at the point P. Point P is here. Point P whose coordinates are 8, 0, 0. Means x-axis x coordinate is 0, y coordinate x coordinate is 8, y coordinate is 0, z coordinate is also 0. Now see here, this is 0, this is 6, this is 8. So length AP is equal to how much here? Pythagoras theorem, square root of 6 square plus 8 square. So it is 10 meters. Square root of 100 is 10 meter. Now the potential at point P due to charge at A is V1. Potential at P due to charge at O is V2. That is, formula is what? 1 upon 4 pi epsilon naught Q1 divided by R1 plus 1 upon 4 pi epsilon naught Q2 divided by R2. 1 upon 4 pi epsilon naught value is 9 into 10 raised to 9. Q1 is 6 into 10 raised to minus 6. What about R1? 8. Q2 is minus 5 into micro asल्यामुळे minus 5 into 10 raised to minus 6 divided by 10 because length AP is 10. So 6 minus 5 LCM kada, that is 60 minus 40 divide kara, you will get the answer as 2.25 into 10 raised to 3 volt. This is the first one. Second, calculate the work done in bringing a proton from infinity to the point P. Now we are interested in getting a proton from infinity to point P, and what is the significance of the negative charge? Formula for work done is what? Definition. By definition, electric potential is work upon charge. It is a negative rate of change of potential with respect to distance, negative sign. V is equal to minus W divided by Q naught. Therefore, W is equal to cross multiply minus Q into V. Minus Q is proton charge. The charge on proton is 1.6 into 10 raised to minus 19, and V we have already calculated here, 2.25 into 10 raised to 3. Okay. When you solve it, you get the work done as minus 3.6 into 10 raised to minus 16 joule. The negative sign indicates that work is done against the electric field due to the charges. And that's it. That is problem number 11. Problem number 12. In a parallel plate capacitor with air between the plates, each has an area of 6 into 10 raised to minus 3 meter square. Area is given 6 into 10 raised to minus 3 meter square, and the separation between the plates is 2 mm. Calculate the capacitance. First, air is the medium, K is 1. Calculate the capacitance. C is equal to A epsilon naught divided by D. A is area, 6 into 10 raised to minus 3. Epsilon naught is 8.85 into 10 raised to minus 12. And distance between them is 2 into 10 raised to minus 3. So C is, solve it. It comes out to be 26.55 into 10 raised to minus 12 farads. Second, if the capacitor is connected to 100 volt supply, what will be the charge on each plate? Q is equal to CV. Formula. C is given 26.55 into 10 raised to minus 12. V is 100. So Q is 26.55 into 10 raised to minus 10 coulomb. Next, concentrate. C part. How would the charge on the plates be affected if a 2 mm thick mica sheet of dielectric constant 6 is inserted while the voltage supply remains connected? Same, unaffected. V remains same. Dielectric constant Q is equal to CV. Q is equal to CV, that is K times Q naught. हे इथं Q naught घ्या म्हणजे तुम्हाला कन्फ्यूज होणार नाही. So Q is equal to CV, which is K times Q naught, that is 6 into 2.66 into 10 raised to minus 26. हे बघा, 6 into 2.655 into 10 raised to minus 9 coulomb. That is your charge Q. Okay, that's it. Last problem. Look here, students, it's not difficult. Find the equivalent capacitance between P and Q. Area of the plate is A and suppression is D. See here this figure, students. Here two plates of capacitor are divided into three media of dielectric constant 1, 2, 1, 3 and 6 respectively. The distance between them plates is d by 3, d by 3, d by 3. How is the connection? One after the other. So the connection is in series. What about C1? A epsilon naught K1 divided by d by 3. 3 goes up. So it is 3 epsilon naught A K1 divided by T. Similarly, C2 is equal to what? Same story. Instead of K1 you replace K2. C3 is instead of K1 you replace K3. Series connection 1 upon C dash is equal to 1 upon C1 plus 1 upon C2 plus 1 upon C3. 3 epsilon naught A divided by D. D ऊपर जाता है. 1 upon K1 plus 1 upon K2 plus 1 upon K3. LCM K2 K3 plus K1 K2 plus see here K2 K3 here, K1 K3 here, and here K1 K2. Reciprocate, students. You get it as 3 epsilon naught A divided by D. K1 value is 1, K2 value is 3, K3 value is 6. 6 3s are 18. That's it. That is your answer. Okay. 1. Next. See here. This figure. These two are in series and these two are in the combination of K1. See here. K2 and K3 are in series. And the combination of K2 and K3 is in parallel with K1. I'll repeat. K2 and K3 are in series. Combination of K2 and K3 is in parallel with K1. Okay. So how? Same story. Hey baga. How does it go? K2 and K3 are in series. C2 is A epsilon naught K2 divided by D. Because D is half and A is also A by 2. So it remains same. C3 is also A epsilon naught K3 divided by T. So they are both in series. Therefore 1 upon C4 is equal to 1 upon C2 plus 1 upon C3. Solve it. Reciprocate. Zala. C4 is this. For parallel combination of both of them, CP is C1 plus C4. This is C4. C1 is A epsilon naught K1 divided by 2D because D is half here. Area is half, students. D is as usual, area is half. 4. Solve kara. Just add the two. You get 4 epsilon naught A divided by D. Students, I have finished with electrostatics problems also. Today we will begin with a new and an easy topic but very lengthy, quite lengthy mulano. Thermodynamics. It is physics section 1 topic 4. Lengthy one, and once you finish it, it's like your physics 1 syllabus is 90% over, students. Thermodynamics. Look here. What do you study in this thermodynamics here? A simple concept which you have already studied in your lower classes, and that is, see here, when a hot body is kept in contact with a cold body, heat energy from the hot body is transferred to the cold body until both of them attain the same temperature. Then we conclude that what is heat? Heat is the form of energy. What is it? Heat is the form of energy. Point number 1. Point number 2. Students, thermal equilibrium. Now what is thermal equilibrium? Before that, let me tell you what is the definition of thermodynamics. Thermodynamics is the branch of physics which deals with the interaction between heat and temperature, also heat and other form of energies. So what is thermodynamics? Thermodynamics is the branch of physics which deals with the interaction between heat and temperature, and also heat and other form of energies. That is called thermodynamics. Over. First job is over. Second job is that students, what is thermal equilibrium? As I was telling you, thermal equilibrium is the one where, a simple example goes like this. When a hot body, as I have already told you, when a hot body is in contact with a cold body, heat energy from the hot body is lost to the cold body until both of them attain the same temperature. There is no more exchange of heat energy between the two bodies. Then the two bodies are said to be in thermal equilibrium. So thermal equilibrium is the condition or the state where the two bodies are not exchanging any more heat energy between them. That is called thermal equilibrium. Related to thermal equilibrium, there is a typical law which is called the zeroth law of thermodynamics. Now what is this zeroth law of thermodynamics? Students, very simple. If two bodies each or two systems each are in thermal equilibrium with the third one, if two systems each are in thermal equilibrium with the third one, then they are said to be in thermal equilibrium with each other. Meaning, consider two bodies A, B, C. If A is in thermal equilibrium with C, if A is in thermal equilibrium with B, then definitely B is in thermal equilibrium with C. I'll repeat. What does the zeroth law of thermodynamics states? That if two bodies each are in thermal equilibrium with the third body, then the two bodies themselves are said to be in thermal equilibrium with each other. Meaning, consider three bodies A, B, C. If A and B are in thermal equilibrium with each other, similarly, if A and C are also in thermal equilibrium with each other, then B and C are said to be in thermal equilibrium with each other. This is called as the zeroth law of thermodynamics. That's it. Next, after zeroth law, we'll discuss something called as internal energy. Every substance is made up of molecules. Molecules are in random motion with respect to each other. Maybe in liquids there may be more and gases there may be high, but all the molecules are in random motion. Whatever is the energy associated with the random motion of the molecules of the substance is called as the internal energy. So what is internal energy here? Internal energy is the energy due to the random motion of the molecules of the substance. Due to random motion of the molecules of the substance, the energy is called internal energy. That's it. Point number 1. Next point, students. Depending upon, we'll put it like this. Thermodynamic system. What is thermodynamic system? A system is a device selected for study to apply the thermodynamic properties like temperature, pressure and volume. Leaving the system, the remaining is always called as the surroundings. So, what is a system? System is the part of the universe selected to study. The remaining part is called as the surrounding. Thermodynamic system is of three types. Open system means there is both exchange of matter and energy with the surroundings. Like for example, you take a vessel containing steam and allow it to evaporate. It is an open system where there is both exchange of matter and energy with the surrounding. Closed system is a system where there is only permission for exchange of energy and no matter. and isolated system is the one where there is no exchange of both matter and energy between the system and the surroundings. Ends the job. That's it. Is it okay, students? Fine. For today I will stop. We'll continue with some more points in the next class. Bye.